Bespoke radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Welcome. Hey now. Fade to Black. Bespoke radio. For the masses. Yeah, man. That's right. How you doing? Today's Thursday, September 13th, 2018. 260 days into the new year, just 105 days left. As always, we are live from a bunker somewhere in the middle of beautiful downtown Burbank, California, and I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States, hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. Yeah, man. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the Planet. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What is crackin'? How you doing? It's Thursday. That's right. I'm in the chair, which means it's another Fadernight. Open lines all night long. Back-to-back-to-back phone calls from all around the world. That's right. Open lines all night long. We've got Jon Rappoport here at the bottom of the hour with his No More Fake Newsroom Live, just like we do every Thursday. And this week, last week, Jon was on assignment, our reporter, producer at large. This week, Thursday night, he's right in the middle of Hurricane Florence. So there you go. But he is with us, and he'll be here at the bottom of the hour. And the call-in number's very simple, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. Very simple. It's going to be a very, very busy night tonight. We've got lots to talk about. The phones are going to be busy, and let's have fun. It's my favorite night of the week. And the other great thing that is going on is that this week I'm not hosting Coast to Coast AM. No, I am not. Rita and I are going to hit the road. We're going to go down to San Diego and spend the night down there, a little rest and relaxation. Then I'll be back to kick things off on Monday. So there you go. I actually get a weekend off. That doesn't happen too often, and we're going to just go out and enjoy ourselves. Now, follow us on OnStellar, onstellar.com, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. I'm a big social media guy. Everything is there at jimmychurchradio.com for you to follow, like, and subscribe. On Twitter, at JChurchRadio. That's what you want to do. Hashtag F2B is the sandbox. Tonight, like any other night, we're going to bust through 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 tweets during this broadcast. If you want to see what that is like and experience it, head over to hashtag F2B. And the good news, again, for me to report is that I tweet once at the beginning of the show, and I tweet once at the end of the show. Those 4,000 tweets in the middle are all you. And if you want to see what that is like, just head right over. Hashtag F2B. Of course, we have 2 chat rooms open, one over at Spreaker and then one at KGRA The Planet, if that is your poison of choice and you want to head into a chat room. Other than that, hashtag F2B is the soundbox. Hashtag F2BQ is Fade to Black questions. Okay, Vinny Appice's birthday today, 60 years old. I didn't know that. All right, there, yeah, see, Twitter's already on fire. Now, hashtag F2B, if you want me to see something, bust it out right there. Okay, let's get the show cracking. We got a lot to do tonight. Any questions or comments throughout the show, you can also email me, Jimmy, at jimmychurchradio.com. Okay, all week we have been reporting on the National Solar Observatory in Sunspot, New Mexico. It is still closed. It is still evacuated with a complete FBI lockdown on all information to the media and to the public. Frank Fisher, a public affairs officer at the FBI's Albuquerque division, announced today that the FBI was referring all inquiries to Aura, A-U-R-A, and said that, and this is Aura today, said that the facility is still closed because they are addressing a security issue and is working with the proper authorities on the issue, but has no further comment about what is going on or what the issue is. A dispatcher at the Otero County Sheriff's Office said today that the matter is still a complete mystery to their office, saying and releasing today, and I quote, "We don't know what is going on. We haven't had any updates. We haven't gotten any information at all. There's not much we can do about it. We've decided to respect their wishes. We're not going to make any inquiries, and they are not telling us anything." End quote. That's from the sheriff's office. I don't know what's going on, but the FBI isn't doing anything right now to squash the alien contact rumors that are flying around the world right now, and it is all indeed very strange. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. It is just $2 per month. Almost 1,000 archive shows right there, just $2 a month. Best deal on the net. Just go and help support the show. You can also become a Fadernight over in our membership section on the site. Autographed hats, T-shirts, all that fun stuff. And, of course, commercial-free downloadable archives. Don't forget to visit every sponsor here at Fade to Black. They've been with us for years. They are the best. All you have to do is click on their banners right there at Jimmy Church Radio. I use all of their products. I endorse everything. Just click on their banners over at jimmychurchradio.com. All right, let's get the show cracking. Happy birthday to today. Dave Mustaine is 57 years old. Fiona Apple today is 41. She is like the best out-of-tune singer I know. Rascal Flatts Shredmaster, one of my favorites, Joe Don Rooney, today is 43. That kid can play. OTD on this day in history, 1940. Oh, man. Yeah, 1940. On this day in 2004, Oprah Winfrey gives away a brand new Pontiac G6 sedan worth $28,500 to everybody in her studio audience. It totaled out to be 276 cars in all. Sounded pretty cool at the time until everybody in the audience got a $6,000 tax bill. Can you imagine that? Free tickets to go see Oprah and you walk out $6,000 in debt? Well, that's what happened. Fader fact, 2.3 million Americans today still subscribe to AOL dial-up internet. And that is a vetted Fader fact. Tonight, another Fader night. It's open lines all night long. Jon Rappoport's going to be here at the bottom of the hour with his No More Fake Newsroom Live. Call-in numbers, 323-825-5045, 323-275-9695, or 818-921-6929. Now, I would like to bring in our old friend, Christopher O'Brien, who is on the road right now up in Hewlett, Wyoming, for the Devil's Tower UFO rendezvous. And he's got a lot of stuff going on right now with the UFODAP, the UFODAP, the UFO Data Acquisition Project. Chris, UFODAP.
UFODAP. Hey.
UFODAP. Welcome back to the show, man. How you doing?
Thanks for having me back on, Jimmy. I'm doing great. I'm having a great time up here with Micah Hanks and Dave Marler and Mark D'Antonio and a whole cast and crew that's doing a great job with this rendezvous. And then as soon as I'm done here on Sunday, I'm heading down to my old stomping grounds in the San Luis Valley, South Central Colorado, and putting in place the first phase of equipment that makes up the UFO Data Acquisition Project. Basically, it's kind of some fancy lingo for some cameras, some high definition pan tilt zoom cameras, and ultimately a whole package of 3 different multi-sensor data acquisition units, MSDAUs as we fondly refer to them, which are sensing equipment for Earth's magnetic changes in the Earth's magnetic field, changes in gravitational field, and hopefully combined with optical evidence of hopefully a number of UFO sightings that we can then analyze the scientific data and analyze the optical data, and ultimately hopefully publish in the scientific literatures with the help of physicists. And it's a very ambitious project, something my team and I have been working on for 12 years. And we finally finished the software that controls the system. We have detect motion capability and then automatic tracking, like targeting software that you see on jets and stuff. It's a poor man's motion tracking and targeting software. And then triangulation software that'll fix the anomalous object flying by, fix it in a place in space with the help of GPS so that we'll know distance, altitude, azimuth, speed, and even potentially size. So we're really excited. It's going to take about a week to get the system up and running. And then in the spring, we're going to be setting up more cameras and putting in the actual sensing equipment with the different detection arrays that I mentioned.
Okay, well, it is. And I've seen the cameras. Pretty ambitious and technical project this is. And when you look at how this is put together, it's pretty impressive. But for the audience, Chris, exactly what are we talking about? Is this an autonomous system that is going to pick up objects in the sky, triangulate? Well, take us through that. If it's out there set up and there's something going on up in the sky, what happens?
Yeah. Well, first of all, the San Luis Valley, where I'm sure there's quite a number of people out there that are familiar with my work back in the 90s. I spent a solid 10 years documenting what may have been one of the most intense waves of anomalous aerial object reports in the United States. I got as many as 17 calls in one day, reporting 5 different events on that particular day. And I logged hundreds and hundreds of sighting reports from people that lived in the area, ranchers, farmers, law enforcement, ex-military members, just regular people, students. And I slowly created a database, which I'm very proud of. It has each of the sightings has 10 points of data in it. And based on that work back in the 90s, based on having a network still there, I left in 2002 because I was becoming the story and I didn't feel comfortable with Japanese tourists following me around. It got kind of weird.
Sure.
And so I moved away, but I kept a network of very interested people in place. So they've been feeding me reports through the years. Like everywhere, the activity ebbs and flows, but there's consistently activity of objects flying by of all types, black triangles, orbs, all sorts of discoidal and spherical objects, huge mothership type objects that block out the stars, any number of colored orbs, some larger, some smaller. And what we're hoping to do with this particular triangulated camera and multi-data system array is actually prove the kind of effects that these things have as I mentioned, not only visually through optics and through sophisticated cameras, but also changes in the Earth's magnetic field, acoustic signatures. We're going to be trying to record some of when these objects make right-hand turns or reverse direction in an impossible non-ballistic manner. It tends to leave an extremely low frequency signature, which we want to record and analyze with these PZM microphones that we're going to be setting up. We're going to be plugged into Flight Radar 24 so that we can, in real time, factor out any transpondered, conventional craft flying by. The Bolide project website that has reports of bolides. We're going to be cross-referencing, obviously, as much of the information as we can to eliminate the possibility of false positives, birds flying by, bugs close to the camera. We're also going to be able to determine whether some of the activity that's been reported as anomalous is actually natural. One of the largest rift valleys in the world goes up the whole eastern side of the valley. It's the Rio Grande Rift Valley. And we think that there's earthquake lights that occasionally show up and fool people. There's lots of quartz inside the Sangre de Cristo Mountains, which are a huge mountain range. It goes up the entire east side of the valley that's on the lip of the Rio Grande Fault. And we think that on cold, super dry winter nights, we may be getting piezoelectric discharges that shoot up into the air and may fool people into thinking they're seeing something, high strange. Also, there's $2 billion worth of methane right out by the Great Sand Dunes, right in front of where one of our main cameras is going to be set up. And we think that there are times when the conditions are right that the methane actually flares and becomes self-illuminated. And so we're going to be looking at various potential natural explanations to try to factor them out and eliminate any possible false positive. And then, of course, with the magnetic and gravitational data, obviously, we're going to be sitting in the driver's seat to really finally someone's going to present the scientific community potentially with irrefutable, unassailable scientific evidence that we are indeed being visited by craft from somewhere. We don't know where, but they seem to be mechanical. They seem to be real nuts and bolts objects in our airspace. And if that's the case, this system is designed to capture that.
Okay, so a couple of questions. First, out of the gate, you've only got a $5,000 goal here, and I think that is great. Okay, it's an easy goal to achieve. We'll probably do that by the end of the night tonight because of this show. So, if we do that, can I get a fade to black sticker on one of these cameras?
I don't see why not.
That's okay.
Jimmy, for you, yeah.
Okay. See, that's how you close the deal with the Fadernights right there. So, I'll kick in.
Well, understand, Jimmy. Ron Olsch, our engineer and our inventor, first of all, he spent over 5,000 hours working on the software and interface with the hardware.
It's impressive.
And he's also written over 10,000 lines of code. We have an automated system that is turnkey. Once you turn it on, it is totally operating over the internet. All the cameras are talking to one another. Mm-hmm. They're sending out coordinate data. We're tied in with GPS, and so this system not only is it on autopilot, and it goes into record mode when certain parameters, event parameters are triggered. And then it'll go into record mode. It's idling most of the time until something is interesting, and then it will record that. Now, what's amazing is we've been able to keep the price down to an amazing about $2,000 to $2,500 for the actual scientific detection gear, and then just add the cost of the camera on top of that. And so you can have your own system anywhere. Right. We're going to be making these systems available for people at cost so that we can slowly start to create a network of these systems around hotspot areas in North America. And then we have people interested in Italy, people interested in Switzerland. So this is really exciting, and if this takes off, and we can show that this is a viable way to get real-time scientific data of UFO events, this changes everything.
Well, it does, and especially with starting off in an area there. How far away from Crestone will the cameras be set up?
Well, we're actually looking at Crestone as a location for a fourth camera.
Okay.
We have a camera on the cell tower in the center of the valley towards the west side.
Right.
And then we have a camera north at the famous UFO watchtower that you've seen articles about over the years.
Sure.
And then we're going to put one out by the Great Sand Dunes, which is really the epicenter of a lot of the activity. So that's our main triangulated array. And then north of the sand dunes, about 25 miles north of the location where that camera is going to be a camera way up high in the foothills of the Sangres in Crestone.
Well, because Crestone, all you have to do is just hang out on your front porch.
Yeah,
I mean,
you can see 300 miles.
Well, there's stuff going on every single night. And I wanted to ask you, okay, so I understand the methane or the quartz or the granite or the earthquake issues. That's all stuff, that's close to the ground. But then we have everything that you see in night vision that is potential satellites. You're going to be looking at stuff basically in between that. Am I understanding correctly? You're not going to pick up a satellite.
Well, one of the things for the phase 2 portion of the project is having a pedestal that pans and tilts based on the coordinates that the cameras are shooting out when we have an event. We're going to have a telescope on that, so that we're able, with a spotting video element on the telescope, be able to acquire a particular event or an object, and then be able to zoom in on that if possible. We even have the slew rates to actually pull that off. This is something that's still in development.
Right.
Using telescopes is much more difficult, but if you have slow moving objects that are way up there, obviously, with a telescope, you're going to get much finer resolution. You're going to be able to zoom in on these high flyers, if you will. And I have a guy that's been visiting the valley for years named Michael McLaughlin. He's actually photographed with some real super powerful telescopic telephoto lenses on his camera. He's photographed things flying at very, very high altitude in the upper atmosphere over the valley that are morphing objects that are very, very strange, and you can see them on the on my website, and I'm putting together a really, obviously we're going to need a website for this project, and we've been working so hard on getting the hardware and the software going. Obviously, we want to be able to inform people of our progress. Right now, if you go to OurStrangePlanet.com, which is my website, there's a 20-minute video of Ron explaining how the hardware and software works. We have photographs of the gear and some basic overviews of how the gear works, without getting into too much technical jargon. You got the actual proposal, which really goes into the nuts and bolts and the nitty-gritty of how the system is designed and how it operates. It's very, very sophisticated. And when you consider, when I tried to do this 20 years ago, I was thinking maybe, wow, wouldn't it be neat to do a system like that? It would have cost close to $1 million. Now we can do the whole thing. We've spent in the whole development stage and a couple 3 false starts because we didn't have the proper bandwidth for the internet. We've only spent about $12,000 to $14,000.
It's incredible
on this thing.
Now, one last question before I have to let you go is what about night vision? Is that going to be incorporated?
It would really be nice to have, the nitrogen cooled long range forward looking infrared, which is about $25,000-$30,000.
It is
minimum.
Yes.
That's very expensive gear. Regular night vision isn't really going to do that much for us. The type of diagnostic data that we're looking for is daytime sightings. Nighttime stuff is cool because it looks neat. And we do have DEWA cameras that go down to 0.05 lux. So, we do have low light capability, but we're really initially after the daylight. There's a lot of daylight activity there, and that's where you're going to really get a lot of your science. And if your listeners really want to get involved and help us out, donors are going to be given special, sneak previews of data and that sort of thing. So go to GoFundMe.com/UFODAP and then -SLV. So it's UFODAP, Data Acquisition Project -SLV for San Luis Valley.
We've already got it up in Twitter. I'm watching your donations increase as this program continues. It's pretty cool. We've got it up in Twitter now. And this is very exciting. And I'm really looking forward to having you back on the show in maybe a month or two after this is set up, where you can bring us back some of the exciting data and show us that Fade to Black sticker on one of the cameras. Do me a favor.
There you go.
Do me a favor. You're hanging out with all of our friends tonight. Mark Antonio, please tell him I said hello, and of course
I will.
Alejandro and his wife Karen and David Marler and just keep Lee Spiegel away from the martinis. And you guys
I promise.
you guys are guaranteed to have a good time. Chris,
we will.
Now, have you? How close are you to the Devil's Tower?
About 10 miles. 10
miles. So you're actually in Hewlett. You're 10 miles outside. Are you going to go hang out at the Devil's Tower?
Not tonight. I'm kind of still recovering from 2 long travel days. But tomorrow and then possibly on Sunday, we're going to do a field trip up there. And then tomorrow night, I'd like to go up there and do some sky watching.
That's what you
I have wanted to come here for years, and I'm so happy to be here.
What kind of night vision do you use?
I just got some old Russian, Gen 1s. I can't afford the really good stuff. I put it all into my other work.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll talk to you about that, and we'll get you set up. But yeah, that's a bucket list situation for me is going up there.
I want to get Ben Hansen involved and maybe have him as be part of the team here. It'd be great to get some of his gear involved.
Yeah. It's something that everybody needs to do. I love going out with night vision and parking the RV and just looking at the sky. And that's all you have to do is look up.
Yeah. Ed Grimley, I mean, he blew me away with some of the stuff I was seeing, and I wasn't sure what it was. A lot of it, I think, may have been insects, some high-flying birds and bats and that sort of thing. But there is a lot of stuff flying around that we normally do not see.
Yeah, you're going to see it up there at Devil's Tower. Thank you so much, Chris. This is an exciting project, and we've just launched it here on the show. And just have a good time this weekend with everybody up there at the UFO Rendezvous.
Stickers.
I'll take care of it. All right. Safe travels, Chris, and we'll talk to you after the weekend.
Okay, cool, man. Thank you.
Christopher O'Brien, and we have the links up there right now. It is very simple for the GoFundMe. The links are up there on Twitter. We'll retweet it throughout the show tonight. And it's not, it's a very easy goal to get to. So I just want to get to it for everybody tonight. And we'll see if we can bust it out before the end of the show. It's right there, GoFundMe.com/UFODAP-SLV. And the links are right there on Twitter. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I'm going to come back after this short break with Jon Rappoport. And John is right in the line of fire with Hurricane Florence tonight. And I'll be right back, and we'll do his No More Fake Newsroom Live, followed by Open Lines all night long. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Be right back after this short break. Stay with me.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, and you're listening to Fade to Black on JimmyChurchRadio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of fade to black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at jimmychurchradio.com.
Times are changing. The circus of politics, healthcare's low standards and high prices, and let's not forget food quality. What to do? Arm yourself with Life Change Tea at getthetea.com. In a world of chemical imbalance and poor air and water quality, it's time you make a move. Log on to getthetea.com and stock up on organic non-GMO supplements. Don't forget the tea. Cleansing your body never felt so good. And we have a brand new tea called Takedown Tea, which helps support healthy glucose. All natural body support so you can be at your best, naturally. All you have to do is log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. We're not a fad that comes and goes. We are the real deal. Join us and armor up. Getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Changing America's health one tea bag at a time.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, The Planet.
Do you want to lose weight but have no idea where to begin? The Fast Start Diet, a 3-day weight loss plan, is the answer. 3 days of nutritionally balanced, calorie-restricted meals delivered right to your door. No shopping, no measuring, and no cooking. Everything is prepared for you and ready to eat at home or on the go. The Fast Start Diet has all the amazing benefits of intermittent fasting without starving. We've helped thousands of people who have struggled to reach their weight loss goals. Isn't it time we helped you? With the Fast Start Diet, you'll lose weight and feel great.
Find Fast Start Diet on Amazon or go to faststartdiet.com and use promo code TALK to get 10% off your first box. And as a special bonus, Fast Start will include their #1 rated Lipo3 appetite suppressant spray free with your order. This is Jimmy Church. And whatever your diet plans are, do what I did. Go to faststartdiet.com.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
And now, coming to you from the No More Fake News Room in deep space, which is the space that we suspect to be true, that the world as it is fed to us every day by the Ministry of Truth is a lie, a false reality, a movie projected on the screen of our subconscious. This, however, is the breakout. All the screens crash, they all go down, and we see the light of day. A new day. No more robots. No more androids. It's the No More Fake News Room with Jon Rappoport. Take it away, John.
Thank you, Jimmy. Good to be here. Very good to be here. We have no Hurricane Florence yet in inland in North Carolina. We'll see what happens. I think we'll be okay here. So tonight, I thought I would do something different. Suppose, for example, let me pose a question to you. A couple of dozen flying UFOs land from some other galaxy. And there are no beings on board, but there is literature that can be translated, or some of it is in English, whatever. Wisdom for earthlings. What would these works say? What would be passed on to us here from some admittedly advanced, obviously, civilization? What's the message, or what are the messages? So that's my brief intro to sort of set this up. Just relax, take it easy, let these messages wash over you. They're actually notes that I made after I finished my second collection, Exit from the Matrix, which you can read about at No More Fake News. But they're quotes. They're notes, my quotes. You don't have to think too much about these, just take them in and see what they might do for you. With imagination, one can solve a problem. More importantly, one can skip ahead of the problem and render it null and void. Imagination isn't a system. It might invent systems, but it is non-material. It's a capacity. It feels no compulsion to imitate reality. It makes realities. Its scope is limited only by a person's imagining of how far imagination can go. It's interesting to remember an earlier time when you had more imagination at your disposal. You might find an array of feelings you appreciate more than the feelings you're feeling now. You might realize imagination stimulated those feelings and brought them into view. Consciousness wants to create new consciousness, and it can. Imagination is how it does it. If there were some ultimate state of consciousness, imagination would always be able to play another card and take it further. If imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, we've flattered reality enough. It doesn't need any more. Reality needs a massive injection of imagination. Imagination can be used to invent a better shade of nail polish or a universe. In a society devoted to nail polish, imagination is not to blame. Imagination has extraordinary equanimity. It is just as happy to entertain and embody two conflicting realities as it is to spool out one uniform reality. You can create the same thing over and over, and eventually you'll be about as alive as a table. Inject imagination into the mix, and everything suddenly changes. You can go anywhere you want to. The lowest common denominator of consensus implies an absence of imagination. Everyone agrees. Everyone is bored. Everyone is obedient. On the opposite end of the spectrum, there are massive floods of unique individual creation, and that sought-after thing called abundance is as natural as the sun rising in the morning. There are those who believe life is a museum. You walk through the rooms, find one painting, stroll into it, and take up permanent residence. But the museum is endless, and if you were a painter, you'd never decide to live inside one of your canvases forever. You'd keep on painting. The relentless and obsessive search for all those things on which we can agree is a confession of bankruptcy. Instead, build one new thing. We relearn to live through and by imagination, and then we enter and invent new space and time. But space and time aren't the superior forces. They operate and come into being at the tap of imagination. There are a billion murals on a billion walls, and the person chooses one and falls down before it and devotes himself to it. He spends 1,000 years trying to decipher it. So be it. Eventually, he'll wind his way out of the labyrinth. Then he'll enter another labyrinth and undergo the same process. He'll do this on and on and on through many lifetimes. And finally, he'll see that he can imagine his own labyrinth. So he does. He invents many labyrinths. Then one day, it'll occur to him that he can imagine whatever he wants to. It doesn't have to be a labyrinth. I'm not breaking a system into parts. I'm not trying to teach a person how to tie his shoes. I'm talking about the proliferation of endless new worlds, not seen through a porthole, but imagined and invented. The expression of imagination is the key. Instead of thoughts circling around aimlessly, you have projection out into the world. You make something that has never been made before. Imagination is larger than any universe. It needs no sanction from the world or from other worlds. It is not some secret form of physics. It is not religion. It is not cosmology. It is not any one picture of anything. It is what you invent. The deployment of imagination unlocks hidden energies. A power sought after and never found in other endeavors appears. A metaphor for imagination might be warp drive. You skip ahead in space by huge leaps. It's not 1, 2, 3. It's 1, 2, and then suddenly 4,000. You're not working by serial cause and effect. Suppose those were the quotes that appeared in some piece of literature stashed in a UFO that landed somewhere on Earth, and the human race were treated to these messages. What would be the effect? It's an interesting question, don't you think? Would there be any effect? Would anybody suddenly say, this is different. This is not what I thought. This is not what we thought we would be getting from outer space. This is an attempt to empower each one of us. We weren't prepared for this. We thought there would be some all-embracing message that would suddenly magically lift everyone to a new height. But this is different. This is saying that imagination, the imagination of an individual, outstrips any world, any universe. It's bigger than any universe. It can invent endless worlds or universes. I would say the effect of these messages would be felt and seen over a long period of time, gradually, invisibly. In fact, isn't that what's actually happened in the history of our own planet? That certain artists, writers, painters, musicians have planted seeds that have sent messages about imagination to countless numbers of the population. Haven't even philosophers struggled to bring a level of individual freedom to nations so that individuals could be free enough to what? To pursue their dreams. And where do these dreams occur? They occur in imagination. Isn't, in fact, this happening on our planet, and hasn't it been happening already for some time, that these messages and messages like them have been unleashed, and people are digesting and redigesting them, and some people are beginning to move forward and say, yes, I need to renew and resurrect my own imagination and become a creative force rather than a passive spectator. Yes, this is happening. No question about it. No question about it at all. In fact, I would say that there are many people listening to this program already who could point to individuals who have given rebirth and stimulation to their own imaginations. Writers, for example. In my own case, it was Ray Bradbury. I'm going to peg the year at somewhere around 1950 or 51. I've told the story before. But I was on a baseball team at age 11, and we were traveling from New York to Niagara Falls to play in a tournament. And on the way home, as we caught the bus, it was going to be a long and boring ride, I ran into a drugstore, and there was a small bookshelf, and I happened to see Ray Bradbury's book of short stories, The Martian Chronicles, on the shelf. And I picked it up, and I opened it on the bus, and I read it all the way home. And life was never the same for me. That's quite a feat for a writer. And I'm sure that you could point to such individuals. Maybe it was somebody who told you a UFO story, or you read a book about UFOs, or you attended a conference. But somebody said something that gave rise to your imaginative and creative power, and you were turned on as never before. And maybe you did, or maybe you didn't recognize that what turned you on emotionally and energetically and cosmically and spiritually and philosophically was the stimulation of your own imagination, which until that moment had never been stimulated to that degree, or had even been lying dormant. It's very easy for the imagination to go dormant, but it's also very easy for it to be awakened. And that's what I'm proposing to you. Awaken it, because the keys to your future lie within it, and with what you can conceive of beyond anything you've conceived of before. This is the key. To be able to conceive of something greater than anything you've conceived of before, and to then somehow translate that into fact in the world. And I'm going to leave it right there. That's my report for tonight.
You know, John, this week, I don't know if you've gotten wind of the reports of the National Solar Observatory in Sunspot, New Mexico, which was last Thursday, was raided and evacuated and shut down by the FBI. And, you know, yesterday and today, the mainstream media picked up on the story. And what is interesting about it, it's like going back to the movie Contact, right, with Jodie Foster. When they picked up these ET signals, and the next thing you know, the man shows up and says, we got to have a total shutdown on all of this. We can't have this leaked. We can't have people freak out. Well, the local sheriff out there has no information. He doesn't know what's going on. He's been told to just behave. Literally, they shut down the local post office. They've got Black Hawk helicopters flying around. The media has arrived. They've are just as shocked as anybody else with the complete silence of what is going on. Goes back to what you are talking about right here in a strange way, in that your imagination now is allowed to take hold, right? And the silence, now that this has gone completely viral, right? The story, you know, the man coming in and shutting down an observatory. At the same time, the webcams and the live feeds of observatories around the world have all been taken offline. Now, here we go, right? Now,
Wow.
Yeah. And what's amazing about this is that the FBI and the government isn't doing anything to silence the rumors. They could say, hey, you know, the computers got hacked, or or this is terrorist activity, or there's this, or this is why we are doing this. But the staff doesn't know what's going on. Nobody knows what's going on. They've just been told to leave, and we'll call you when you can come back. And you can go right now. Anybody listening to me, you can go to any media source. Just type in National Solar Observatory, and every media outlet's covering it. It's a crazy situation, and now your imagination is allowed to take hold. What is really going on? You know, a national observatory. Very interesting situation.
It is a very interesting, and exactly as you say, in the silence that follows, the enforced silence, the imagination can take flight, and all sorts of incredible tales can fill the vacuum, as they do. It happens whenever there is massive shutdown, blackout, censorship, whatever. This is an incredible story, and you're saying that the live feeds and webcams of other observatories have been taken offline at the same time.
That's right. And I've been getting my share of information. You know, Fadernauts, you know, the audience members, they're out there calling these observatories, you know, seeing what's going on, and it's crazy what is actually happening right now. And this is the other part. This is going on inside of the United States. We're talking about Sunspot, New Mexico, where the FBI has gone and evacuated, police taped, Black Hawk helicopters, the whole shot, telling the sheriff's department, we've got this handled, go away, right? And closing down the post office without a press conference, without the press being allowed to ask questions. There's none of that going on. It's a complete media lockdown. And it's going on right now. You would think that the opposite is true here, that they would tell us what is happening, if it's terrorist activity, if it's, I don't know. I don't know the reason for this. Nobody does. Nobody knows anything. And that includes
what are the Fadernauts being told when they call up these places?
Okay, so I've got a bunch of different quotes. We got through over the last 3 days. We got a couple of the technicians on the phones there, and especially early on, where the technician said, literally, we were told to evacuate and not to come back until we are told to. That's what, and not, see, this is the other thing. These technicians or the Aura Project or whatever, nobody is saying, well, we had an issue. There was a white powder substance came in the mail and we had to bring, well, there's no Homeland Security involved. There's no hazmat crews. There's nothing like that going on. There is no talking about strange chemicals or leaked radiation. There's, which would be projected out for the public safety and announced. So there isn't that part. So what is actually going on?
And at these other observatories, are they also evacuating or just taking
the live camera feeds, the webcams, the space cams have been taken offline? And I've got a list of there's 8. And that includes 2 in Hawaii, 1 in Chile, 1 in Spain, 2 inside of the United States, and 3, another one over in Pennsylvania, that have all been taken offline. It's a bizarre situation.
Is there anything special about this Sunspot observatory that's any different from other observatories?
Well, the Solar Observatory in Chile also observes the sun. Okay, but the thing is well, everything is speculation, right? We could go into this and let our imagination take off. What is it? And there was a couple of things that were spotted with this telescope the day before it was taken offline, and there was a couple of objects seen close to the sun, and one of them looked metallic, and then immediately, boom, everything gone, everything offline, and the facility was raided and evacuated. And this is not a joke. This is what I mean by that is this isn't some conspiracy thing. No, this is what is going on, and this is what the media is reporting, all media outlets. Yeah, we don't know. We don't have any idea. So I've got open lines tonight, and hopefully, we'll get a lot of phone calls. But maybe somebody has chased down some information. Maybe somebody is local in the area in New Mexico. I don't know. And maybe we'll get some more information tonight. I know what you're going to be doing as soon as you depart right now.
Yeah. Astounding.
It is.
Astounding indeed.
It is.
Well, let's see what we find out.
It's an incredible time to be alive. That's all I have to say. John,
that's for sure.
Thank you so much. And please, you and the family, be safe out there. Don't do anything crazy. I know that you're a good distance inland, but that doesn't mean it's all good. Okay, so just be safe, and we'll talk to you on Monday.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Thank you so much. Jon Rappoport. Start your day every day, as I do, over at nomorefakenews.com. All right, it's Fadernight, Thursday night. Yes, I'm looking at all the phone lines. You guys are not wasting any time. All right, I'll get everybody lined up. We'll get to your phone calls next. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. 323-825-5045, 323-275-9695, or 818-921-6929. It is indeed Fader Night. Open lines all night. I'll be right back after this short break. Stay with me.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, and you're listening to Fade to Black on JimmyChurchRadio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Times are changing. The circus of politics, healthcare's low standards and high prices, and let's not forget food quality. What to do? Arm yourself with Life Change Tea at GetTheTea.com. In a world of chemical imbalance and poor air and water quality, it's time you make a move. Log on to GetTheTea.com and stock up on organic non-GMO supplements. Don't forget the tea. Cleansing your body never felt so good. And we have a brand new tea called Takedown Tea, which helps support healthy glucose. All natural body support so you can be at your best, naturally. All you have to do is log on to GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. We're not a fad that comes and goes. We are the real deal. Join us and armor up. GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. Changing America's health one tea bag at a time.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the planet.
Do you want to lose weight but have no idea where to begin? The Fast Start Diet, a 3-day weight loss plan, is the answer. 3 days of nutritionally balanced, calorie-restricted meals delivered right to your door. No shopping, no measuring, and no cooking. Everything is prepared for you and ready to eat at home or on the go. The Fast Start Diet has all the amazing benefits of intermittent fasting without starving. We've helped thousands of people who have struggled to reach their weight loss goals. Isn't it time we helped you? With the Fast Start Diet, you'll lose weight and feel great.
Find Fast Start Diet on Amazon or go to FastStartDiet.com and use promo code TALK to get 10% off your first box. And as a special bonus, Fast Start will include their #1 rated Lipo3 appetite suppressant spray free with your order. This is Jimmy Church. And whatever your diet plans are, do what I did. Go to FastStartDiet.com.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fader night. Open lines all night long. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. Check this out. Holding this up to the camera. Check that out. You see what that is? Can you see that? That's $500 million. That's right. That's a $500 million bill from the Zimbabwe National Bank. And it's real. Pretty cool, huh? $500 million right there. All right. Before I get to the phones, our show, The Unexplained, is finally going to premiere here in the United States. It is going to premiere overnight. I don't know. It's like at 8 a.m. East Coast on History Channel. And, of course, all of your favorite subscribers, whatever, DirecTV and Dish Network and I believe Hulu and whatever, wherever you get the History Channel. They are going to do the first 3 episodes, 1, 2, and 3, back to back. So go and check it out. I would set your recorders, your DVRs, and you can watch it in prime time. But so it will be tomorrow, the 14th, and then 3 more episodes next Friday. Okay, so there you go. Let me know what you think. It's about a year and a half late. Everybody else around the world, it premiered internationally last January. I can't believe it. So I'm making the announcement now. I knew about it a couple of weeks ago, and I was just like, well, whatever. But, it's cool. We put a lot of effort into the series, and there's a lot of really talented, great people that are involved, and I don't want to make light of it. They put a lot of time and effort into it. So go and check it out. It's really well done. It's well edited, and the graphics and everything else are pretty cool. And so do go check it out and let me know what you think. Okay? All right. It's called The Unexplained. And again, I think it's 8 a.m. Eastern Time, 8, 9, and 10 o'clock, 1 hour each. Okay? So I got that out of the way. Now, also, I just posted up, it's all over Twitter, and I've got it up on Facebook now, too, as well. That's Christopher O'Brien's project, and it's called the UFODAP for the San Luis Valley, and there's pictures of the cameras and everything else, and Fade to Black just did a quick donation there to get things going, and get over there. This is the thing. Here we have these, this observatory, the National Solar Observatory, just taken offline. This is our own observatory. This is our own thing. And, let's not, I'm talking about the community. This is the community. And Christopher O'Brien has been out there fighting the good fight for over 20 years, and it's been a stellar part of this community. And this project and the software and the way that they've got this thing done to be able to not only grab this stuff in real time, triangulate it, record it, have the data accessible to everybody online and automated, it's a crazily cool scientific effort. And we need this. This is our own observatory. I want to see some Fade to Black stickers on these cameras. Don't you? Show the world that the Fadernauts are behind this. Get behind it. Go. It's just a $5,000 goal. $5,000. Let's get it done by the end of the night. It's very simple. Okay, we kicked in. We did it already. Go and get it done, and I'm going to continue to post the links throughout the show. All right, phones are backed up. Let's go. I think I've got Naptown, Indianapolis, up first on Fade to Black. Who is this?
Yes, this is Bill.
Hey, Bill. What part of Indianapolis?
In Indianapolis. I'm at work.
Oh,
and
okay.
I brought my little 5-inch telescope to work with me today with a solar filter on it. And it was a beautiful 80-degree day with no clouds at 5 o'clock. And we went out to look at the sun. And we seen a spot go across the sun. I've seen the Venus transit from left to right, but this went from right to left, from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock in a sweeping arc, about a little bit bigger than Venus transit across the sun, and it only took about a minute, and it must have been really moving to go that fast across the sun. And it was a visible object, you know, that you could see plain as day with a solar filter. And I'm an amateur astronomer, so I know it was really strange because sunspots always go from left to right, and so do the planet transits and all that. But this was really exciting to see something like that go across the sun in a curve, instead of a straight line. It was a arcing curve. And I encourage other amateur astronomers to go out and get their solar observing equipment out and see for themselves that there's some activity up there going on, and I don't know what it is, but it's pretty exciting.
The shutdown of the National Solar Observatory last Thursday apparently came on the heels of some sightings and some activity. And one of the objects was reported to be metallic. And then the next day, all of the evacuations occurred in Sunspot, including the post office. So it feels like it's connected, but this is what you do, Bill. What do you think is going on?
I don't know. I think that the FBI didn't want to cause a public panic by letting some of these photos get out to the public, and it probably would scare some people. But I think they've seen 3 objects go across the sun, and I wasn't aware of something going on, but I cut grass yesterday and today, and I was aware of this news, and I felt that the sun was a little bit brighter than normal, and there was no sunspot activity at all. It was completely clean, and it was nice to look at the sun and see that object go across there. It must have really been moving to be that big and be visible like that. It must have been a planet-sized object or spaceship or something to go across the sun like that. Can't tell how close it was to the sun, but it did transit the sun from right to left, from the 3 o'clock position to the 6 o'clock in an arcing move. And stuff don't do that.
No. Wow, that is. Are you able to capture video, or do you have camera equipment hooked up to your telescope?
Oh, I'd have to get off my big telescope to do that. I got a big 10-inch Meade telescope with all kinds of cameras and video equipment. But
I know what you're going to be doing this weekend.
A lot of work to get that thing out to look.
Well, right.
It was pretty neat.
I can't think of a better time to do it than now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill.
Well, if I wait a couple of days, it might be too late.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
For all of us.
That's what I'm saying. All right, you know, I'm from Indianapolis. You know that, right, Bill?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I heard you were.
Yeah, I went to Warren.
From Beach Grove?
No. Cumberland.
Cumberland. Okay, that's east.
Yeah, that's
west.
east.
Yeah, east.
Yeah, I went to Warren Central High School.
Yeah, I know where that's at.
Yep.
I went to Ben Davis.
You went to Ben Davis. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I love it when I hear from Indianapolis, man. Well, listen.
Yeah, I'm 68 years old, and I've been amateur astronomer since Halley's Comet came around in 76, and I was the first one in the astronomy club to get the big telescope, and everybody was jealous of me, you know, and then eventually everybody got the big 10-inch telescopes, but it was fun to do, and I love astronomy.
Well, bust out your 10-inch camera and telescope and see what you can capture this weekend and send me the images, okay?
I might try to do it with my cell phone camera through the eyepiece and get something like that.
Yeah, that you can do that too. Yeah, you can do that too.
That can work.
I don't have any filters on my stuff, and I've got night vision, which doesn't work for it. I do have.
I do too.
I have a Celestron binocular, high-powered stargazing setup too, as well. But I don't have the filters to look at the sun for that. Again, those are low-light binoculars, and so they're not designed to look at the sun. So I can't do it, but you can.
No.
So keep me posted, Bill. Yeah. Okay.
I'll try.
Thank you so much. Go Colts.
I encourage. Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much, Bill. Naptown right there. Let's go to area code 907. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
This is Casey.
Casey, how are you?
I'm just fine. I'm a Fadernight, according to my son, and I have a story to tell.
Okay, all right, but take me off of speakerphone.
Oh, right.
Now I can hear you. Okay, so what's up?
What's up? I started to tell about in the middle of the 90s. I was coming home from a party. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Uh-huh.
And I had to pull over and take a rest. And in Alaska, just bright sunshine at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I closed my eyes and I heard a noise and I thought it was a bear coming out of the woods.
Right.
And I opened my eyes and it wasn't. It was a spaceship. A long spaceship.
How old were you?
And it was no further away from me than 300 feet.
How big was it?
It was following the road.
Okay.
And I jumped out of my car to look closer. And there were people looking back at me. Human-looking people.
I'm listening.
And then
okay, the call is now breaking up.
It was going slow.
Mm-hmm.
They looked at me, I looked at them, and they just watched. I watched them, and they just followed the road grid to the end. And at the end of the road, hung a right and disappeared at the end. I jumped in my vehicle, drove home, woke my son, told him to draw this. He drew me the picture of what I had seen. I still have it to this day.
Can I see the picture?
What?
Can I see the picture? Can you send it to me? Can you post it?
Yes, absolutely.
I would love to see it. How big was it?
It was about 400 feet long. It was tubular shaped, had windows. Everyone was dressed the same. They all had colonial Dutch haircuts, blonde hair, looked human just like us. They all dressed the same. The ends of the ship were flattened, did not make a noise, except for when they crashed out of the woods.
It's 300 feet away. How big were the windows for you to see so everybody was looking at you out of the windows?
Yes.
Wow. And
they were like sliding glass door size.
Right. That's an incredible sighting. Did anybody else see it or any reports?
11 people.
11 people saw it.
Came forward after that.
And
I called the Air Force. I called the news. I went on the news. I had to know if anybody had seen this, if I imagined it, hallucinated it.
Right.
I had to know. And 11 people from my town came forward.
And
I never talked to any of them.
What year did this happen? What city up in Alaska?
96, Fairbanks, Alaska.
96, Fairbanks, Alaska. And do you remember what month it happened?
June.
I would like to. Are those reports and stuff? Is it online? Is it available to see?
Yes, KTUU.
KTUU. Okay, the audience is probably already posting stuff up on Twitter right now. But unbelievable experience to have gone through. How long did the entire sighting last? Do you remember?
An hour.
An hour? What did the Air Force say?
Are you on drugs, ma'am?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you drunk?
and
I don't drink. So, and I wanted to know myself, did I hallucinate this? Come on. So that was my second sighting in my life in Alaska. So I needed to know.
That's incredible. And my email is, you can access everything for me off of our website. You can go and do that at jimmychurchradio.com. But my email is simple. It's jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. And I would love to see this drawing. So send it to me.
Absolutely, Jimmy.
Thank you so much. And your name was Casey?
Yes.
Thank you, Casey. And
Thank you.
Send me the email, and I'll write you back. And then I'll send you up a T-shirt, okay?
Awesome. Thank you for being there.
Thank you, Casey. Seriously, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I can't wait to see that picture. Casey, I'm serious. You're listening right now. I'll send you a T-shirt. You got to send me the picture. Even trade. Let's go to area code. I think it's 956. You're up next on Fade to Black.
Yes. Hi, Jimmy.
Hi. Who's this?
My name is Zubin.
Hi, Zubin.
Yes, I'm actually calling you from Texas. I'm driving right now, but I was listening to your radio program and just, I'm fascinated by some of the people that I get to listen to every day.
What are you doing? Driving a truck?
No, I just deliver meds. I just drive my Toyota Corolla.
Okay. Not a truck.
Yeah.
But you're listening
no,
to
not
the
a
show.
truck.
Okay. All right. All right. So what's on your mind tonight, Zubin?
You know what? I've been listening to so many different theories and stuff for so many years. What's on my mind is that I was born in India, first of all. So where I'm coming from, there's a lot of ancient mythologies in India. And I feel that a lot of people, they should study the Mahabharata. That's how you say it.
Mm-hmm.
And when I study the Mahabharata, I'm a Christian, but I like to study it because there's a lot of fascinating things in there that explains the ancient technologies, and that explains like how advanced they were whenever Mahabharata took place.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree.
And, one thing I wanted to, those people that your listeners, and I'm one of your listeners too, but for them to look up the Prime Minister of India, his name was Nehru. And he wrote a book while he was Prime Minister on the Aryan race or Aryan people. And it basically linked a lot of the people to the Mahabharata. And these people, they were very intelligent, very sophisticated, and they were like gods on the earth, according to the book he wrote. And they helped the people out on the earth to develop the technologies and just advance the people on the earth. And so I'm just letting you guys know, somebody should also look into those type of researches, because it answers a lot of questions about how our ancient civilizations pre-Noah's flood was like,
I agree. And those stories and a lot of that text is so bleeping old that I don't. There are those out there who say, "Oh, it's mythology. It's just their imagination." They are specifically talking about power systems, floating cities in the sky, weapons, battles that were taking place. I mean, very intricate details that's not where the imagination was going 5,000 to 10,000 years ago, or older. And I think it's some of the most fascinating stuff out there that we need to take a very hard look at. I totally agree with you, Zubin.
Well, when you said, we need to look at it, there's this video on YouTube. I don't know if it's still there or not, but there's a gentleman who was doing he was actually studying the place where Krishna came as an avatar. And that place is called Dwarka. I think that's how you pronounce it, Dwarka. And it's right now underwater. So he went to study it, and he found some archaeologists that studied that place back in the 1980s. And he tried to get in touch with those archaeologists, and they said that we don't want to have anything to do with this study anymore because somebody in the higher up in the Indian government, I don't know who, they told them, hey, don't study this place anymore. So something is going on where, if you want to look deep into the ancient mythology, the places, and you try to dig deep to find more of the answers, something happens where they stop the excavations or where they stop the people from looking closer. So, it's a video. I'll try to send you a link of it. But, this gentleman, he's a young guy. He's in his 20s. He went there. He wanted to study ancient India. But then those archaeologists from the 80s, they were, they had studied Dwarka, but then they were told they can't do it.
It's a huge.
I'll send you the video.
Yes, and it's a huge area there. Well, actually, most of the coast of India has got construction underwater that is very, very ancient. And Graham Hancock was talking about it and did some diving there too as well. And you can clearly see stuff even in Google Earth. Well, and they know that it's there. Some of it, there's heavy ocean currents, and it's very difficult to dive. But the Indian government and the historians there in India all know about it. You're absolutely right, Zubin, and thank you for making us aware.
Right, and before I go, Jimmy, I just want to let you know that I love with David Wilcock, especially because I believe that he's under such a burden that, I can't even imagine what he has to face because, he's exposed to so many truths, and I think that's the thing that right now people that know the truth and they want to tell the other people about it, they're under such scrutiny. They're basically showed in the media as kooks. And, Elon Musk was on the Joe Rogan show, and I don't know, it's my personal belief. I believe that Elon probably knows some secrets because just the way he was doing that interview on Joe Rogan, it looked like he was under a lot of stress, not just from his SpaceX projects, but, he knows stuff, and he probably wants to do something to help the people, but, so that's what I got to say.
Yeah, thank you for the phone call, Zubin. Now go drive and be safe, okay?
All right, thank you, Jimmy.
God bless. Thank you so much. I like Elon Musk. There's something about Musk for me that I'm okay with. I'm pretty comfortable with Elon Musk, and I know he's rich, and I know SpaceX and Tesla, and he's probably part of the elite, and I get all of that, and I'm prepared to take the flack for it. But there's something about Elon Musk that I'm okay with, and I can't quite put my finger on it. But if you're going to go and smoke some weed on Rogan, Rogan, that's a whole nother story right there. I've got my issues with Joe Rogan, but my opinions don't matter. They just don't. But when Elon Musk is willing, to smoke some weed on camera, he's all right in my book. It's Fade to Black. More of your phone calls are next. It's Fadernight. Open lines all night long. I'll be right back. Stay with me.
The This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
Folks, this is very important information. What's to be said about CBD? AncientLifeOil.com. Our CBD is made from hemp and has 0.003 THC, which means this wonderful product won't get you high, no matter what amount you take. What does CBD do for the body? My hands are tied. But you can Google CBD benefits and be astounded. When you're finished reading, you'll want to log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com and purchase. Life is good when you feel good. People are tired of pain. People are asking for non-GMO organic products to help them with you fill in the blank. Legal in 49 states, and again, our CBD is made from hemp. Ancient Life Oil is about helping people one by one by one. If you wonder how good the product is, the CEO takes it every day without miss. AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Have a great day.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA Digital Broadcast Station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier, and this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. Yes. We are of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier.
And I'm Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers.
And you're listening to Jimmy Church.
The Revolution.
Reclaim your active lifestyle with Angioprim. Angioprim is the original liquid oral chelation supplement. Chelation helps remove toxins, heavy metals, and cholesterol in your veins and arteries that can cause blockages. Scientific research proves the active ingredient in Angioprim has superior oral chelation action that helps promote cardiovascular health. Find out more. Go to angioprim.com. Talk to a trained consultant by calling Angioprim toll-free 877-882-7221.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official Fadernight by just going to our membership section at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Hey, it's Grace. Can we talk about something serious for a minute? Your age. Getting old has its perks. But remember, being a few years younger, you know, your hair was thicker, you didn't have so many wrinkles, that extra weight wasn't haunting you, and you just felt better. Well, we can't turn back the clocks and go back 10 or 15 years, but you can start feeling and looking 10 or 15 years younger with Nature's Youth RSF. It's a doctor-formulated daily supplement that helps your body maintain its peak performance and fight the aging process. Imagine sleeping better, looking better, and feeling better. See how Nature's Youth RSF has helped thousands of people just like you at nature'syouth.com. nature'syouth.com. Imagine how it will feel when your family and friends are asking you what you did to look so good. Your secret will be Nature's Youth RSF. It's time to start looking better and feeling better. Learn more and order your Nature's Youth RSF at nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only use night vision goggles from Bearing Optics. You can see your very own green chrome balls today by clicking on their banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Open lines all night long. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. Little programming note. Our series, The Unexplained, is premiering on History Channel. So just go 3 episodes tomorrow, Friday, the 14th. Set your DVRs, record all 3. Let me know what you think. We've put a lot of effort into it. Let's Let's go with area code 603. You're up next on Fade to Black. Welcome.
Brother James, you blew my cover, man.
I blew your cover?
Yeah, giving out my area code. It's Libertas.
Hey, Libertas, how are you, man? Yeah, they're going to triangulate.
Hey, if I were any better, I would be hosting Fade to Black when Jimmy Church needed a vacation.
Oh,
That's
man.
how good I am.
Thank you for volunteering.
Hey, I've got some good stuff for you. If you open your email, and you won't want to read it on the air, it says good stuff on the subject line.
Got it.
Look, long story short, and I have to give Stephen Bassett the credit for this, but in 1997, the Society for Scientific Exploration, with a number of scientists, met with Lawrence Rockefeller, and they reviewed a number of global UFO cases, and of course the scientists wrote their hypothesis at the end of it and published it on their website. And that first URL,
I've got it here.
Document they published.
Right.
And of course, I think Rockefeller wanted disclosure for himself, not for us. But there's some interesting cases if you peruse that, by the way.
I've got it here, and I've just saved it, and there you go. That's a nice PDF. All right.
There you go.
Yeah, I got it.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I've got it, and no, keep going. I'm actually clicking through this here. Go ahead.
When I gave you the category review list from the Invention Secrecy Act of 1951, you were talking about send it over to John Greenwald. Did you ever get a chance to do that?
I believe I did. That's going back a ways, but that is one of the most interesting documents that I've ever taken a look at.
Yeah, me too, especially for people that buy solar panels for their roof.
I know.
Remember the 20% efficiency level?
Right.
That was funny.
That's right.
Man.
I got a lot of email about that too as well after that broadcast.
Did you?
Yeah, just a tremendous document. So what do you think about this National Solar Observatory being shut down? What do you think is going on?
You mean I should have worn the fake mustache and the mirrored sunglasses when I mailed the package at the Sunspot post office?
Yes. I know.
Jimmy, it's more control, more disinfo, more keeping information from the people, kind of like the Supreme Court nominee. If the senators can see the documents, why can't we? Aren't they public? You know what I mean? They keep everything. Everything's classified. I'm not sure what to speculate. Obviously, there's something they don't want us to know. But the interesting part is why the post office and the facility. Did someone try to mail some interesting information out and it got intercepted and therefore they closed both? I mean, that's my only speculation that can involve the post office, by the way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, this is anything that you can think of is an interesting theory. I mean, anything. Yeah. You could postulate anything here why the post office is involved. It could be so many different things, but the one thing that I think needs to be very clear here, if it's anything except for ET, you have a press conference about it. You let everybody know this is what's going on. We have packages we need to intercept. A package came into the post office that had white powder in it, and so we need to close everything down. It was addressed up to the observatory. We want to make sure that nothing got into the observatory. This is what's going on. We're bringing in Homeland Security and hazmat, and this is, and to let the public know this is what is happening. But nothing that, if it was terrorist activity, or if it's anything, hacking or computers or whatever, they would let us know. Now.
Yeah, maybe quit giving them good ideas, Jimmy. Okay.
Well,
good excuses.
And I'm imagining that pretty soon we're going to get a pretty lame excuse for all of this, for the Black Hawk helicopters and evacuation. And it's going to be like, wait a minute here. And the rest of the public is going to go, okay, see, it was actually nothing. Well, if it was actually nothing, then why aren't you telling us why it is actually nothing? Go. So
because everything else they don't tell us is nothing, correct?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I can't wait, and maybe, just maybe, something is going to get leaked, and then we'll be able to get the real story.
I hope so. I'd like to be the leaker, too.
Libertas.
Hey, a couple other things. I plunked in 2 more websites for you, but something I found interesting is this year, the Society for Scientific Exploration had their annual conference together with the International Remote Viewing Association. I find that very, very interesting, by the way.
Well, it's always been part of scientific study and remote viewing. And the Society for Scientific Exploration, it's a peer-reviewed organization, and remote viewing is real. I mean, that's not. Yeah, I mean, that's real proven stuff there, and it goes on to this day. I'm so intrigued with remote viewing, and I want to learn how to do it myself. So yeah,
me too.
Having the 2 of them tied in together for their conference, man, yeah, absolutely, and they should.
Hey, let me tell you a couple other things, by the way. After that document I just sent you, one of the attendees, and by the way, Jacques Vallée and Hal Puthoff were 2 of the scientists.
Yeah, I see
involved.
that. Yep.
Yeah. One of the guys, and I think he's a physicist, Peter Strzok, he wrote a book called The UFO Enigma. Mm-hmm. I just got the book, so I haven't even flipped it open yet, with reviewing all of the data that they reviewed in that document. Now, I'm not a tweeter, but you could easily tweet that out if the Fadernauts were interested.
Sure, I'll put the link out there. The UFO Enigma, I still have that book. I mean, that's required reading. That's ufology 101 stuff right there.
Okay, I didn't know you had it. Just a couple more things. I don't want to take up too much of your show. Can I talk to the Fadernauts for a second?
Sure.
Fadernauts, do you know, I do not buy anything from Amazon. I will pay more elsewhere because I do not patronize companies that develop facial recognition for the police. And another word that never comes out of my mouth is Google. I do not use Google. I will never use Google. Startpage.com or DuckDuckGo are the search engines to use because I don't want to use search engines as censor search engines for China. And Jimmy, I don't know, did you hear about the Shag Harbor UFO Museum?
I had Stanton Friedman on the show last week talking about it.
Oh, yes, somebody broke in and trashed the place.
Oh, really?
They trashed it.
I didn't know about that.
Yep, they did. They broke in and trashed it.
When did they do that?
Probably, I would say within the last week, a week and a half. The information's out there. It's a shame that people would go in and do something like that. And here, I'll give you one more tidbit. I can send you a link sometime. Now, I can't validate this stuff, and I found it. I didn't think I had it until just before I called. And actually, I still have the URL. I can't validate it, okay? And it's an obscure website. But on it, someone had posted copies. Don't ask me where they obtained them or if they're real. But it was Ron Pandolfi sending emails to Rick Doty, chastising him because allegedly Doty was obtaining emails addresses in the names of some of Pandolfi's coworkers and sending out disinfo, and Pandolfi is chastising Doty for doing this in these emails.
Oh man, send me the link, man. I got to see that.
You got? What do you want me to put on the subject line?
You just put Pandolfi, man. Let the CIA know. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, that's what I'm not about, man. Now
yeah,
I've never used it with you. I'm going to have to start though. right now I have a Proton Mail account. Are you familiar with that?
Of course. Yeah, I'm looking at, right here, somebody, what's the date on this? This is September 9th. The Shag Harbor UFO Museum getting vandalized. Wow.
Yeah, I've been to Shag Harbor, and what a beautiful place, but what a shame. Wouldn't you like to just kind of find that person on a dark evening and teach them a lesson?
But but it's Shag Harbor, man. Everybody there knows who did it, okay? It's a small town. I'll talk to you.
I hope so.
Thank you so much, Libertas. Be safe and be well, my friend.
All right, we'll see you, brother. And pencil me in when you need a night off, okay?
I'll talk to you. Thank you so much.
All right, see you, bud.
You got it.
Bye.
Got a volunteer right there to host Fade to Black. Area code 540. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. It's Paul from Virginia.
Hi, Paul from Virginia. Are you safe?
I am so far, yes. And how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. It's Thursday night, Fadernight, man. It's my favorite night of the week, Paul. My favorite night of the week. What's on your mind?
First, I want to give a shout-out to all the Fadernights, especially the ones that on the speaker chat. I've become a little bit friendly with them, and they're awesome people.
Right on.
You know, I don't have people around where I live that are like them, you know.
Right on.
People like that.
Okay,
also, Jon Rappoport, man, he was awesome tonight.
Yeah, he was.
He blew my mind.
Yeah, really good stuff coming in from him. I got weird noise coming in from your phone, though, man. Weird.
Okay. All right. 1 second.
Okay, we're live on the radio, Paul. Okay, so what's on your mind?
Well, of course, whatever's going on with those observatories is really weird. The average person probably won't even think about it or even hear about it, but, you know, of course we know there's something going on. You know, it's not all that's going to be happening where they're shutting them all down, you know, and there's no reason for it. You know, there's a reason for it, but the question is, what is it? But actually, though, it seems like, you know, it's a time to talk about a UFO experience.
Yeah, let me hear it. What happened?
Okay, it was October 5th, 2007, about 9 p.m. at night, Friday night. I was going to pick up my daughters at a school dance, 2 of them. And my youngest daughter was with me and my wife. And we come out where we live. I'm on this little road with trees all around, and I start seeing a flashing light. And it was weird. And I was like, you know, at first I was thinking maybe it's heat lightning. But I was like, well, it doesn't feel like the time for heat lightning right now. And there was no storms around. So I said it out loud. I was wondering what the light was, flashing light. My 9-year-old daughter was in the back with her little, like, PS2 Nintendo or something playing it. And she said, maybe it's my game, Dad. And I looked in the mirror and I said, well, maybe. And she's playing it, and I'm looking and I'm like, no, that's not what it was. Well, I go about a mile, and I get to the highway, and I had pretty much forgotten about it by then. I hang right on the highway. I go about not even another mile, and I pass this line of trees. Suddenly, on my left, I see this, you know, a flash. And so I look over, and there's this ball, a big sphere, flashing, a bright light. And I'm looking at it, and I was like, what the heck? What is that? And then I remember my wife saw it then and said, yeah, what is that? And I said, I don't know. So I kept driving until I got up to perpendicular to it, like as close as I could get to it. And I just pulled off the road. And I pull off the road, and I get out. And I went to the other side of the car because there was a lot of cars passing by on this 2-lane highway. And I'm standing there looking at it, and it was like just a big sphere blinking, like every 2 seconds, really bright, like a strobe. and it was hovering right at the top of a microwave tower. It was hovering right beside a microwave tower that had been there for a while. And I'm sitting there thinking, what is that? What is that? I was like, maybe, is it a helicopter? I was like,
how big was it? Paul, how big was it?
My guess, after I've gone back and looked at how far away the tower is and everything, it probably must have been like 50 feet in diameter, maybe. Wow. 30 to 50 feet is my guess.
How long did this last?
Oh, it lasted for many minutes.
Did it fly away?
Actually,
did it stay there? How?
Actually, it moved away and landed.
It landed?
Went down. Yes, sir. It freaked me out. But, so I'm...
Well, what do you mean? Wait. What do you mean it landed? You saw it land? Did you go over to it? Did you get a closer look?
I wanted to, but okay. While I'm standing there, my youngest daughter, 9-year-old Shannon, she started going, the aliens are coming, the aliens are coming. And I said, well, wait a minute now, we don't know what this is. Maybe it's another tower they put up beside it with a weird light on it. And then, my wife and my daughter said, no, it's moving. And I said, are you sure? By this time I got back in the car, and I'm sitting in the car, and I'm looking through my window, and I got dirt on the window, and I'm lining it up, and it was moving. I said, you're right. So I jump out again, and I run across the road, run up into the field, up this bank, start running across the field towards it. And I just got out there and I was staring at it, and I'm like, what the hell is that? What the hell is that? And I was staring at it for minutes. And actually, hours later, my eyes were messed up from staring at it too long because it was so bright. I could feel it like looking at the sun. And, I'm staring at it, and all of a sudden it started moving away, and it went down behind the tree line, way down the hill. And it went down and I could tell it must have landed. It went down to the ground. I could still see the flashes coming up from it. And I started to run because I run towards it because I'm thinking, oh my God, it's something down there landed. I gotta go see what it is. But
you left your wife and daughter in the car?
Well, yes, right. But that was the problem, because I started to run towards it, and then, for one thing, I was almost blind after it was gone. I couldn't see anything because the light of it kind of blinded me. And once it was gone, I couldn't see in the dark at all. And I realized I'd have to run down the hill. There might be a fence down there. There might be, a creek or whatever at the tree line. And then my wife and daughter were in the car. So then I stopped, and then I started to go back, and then I turned around again, and I look, and I see the lights coming up, and I'm like, and I started to go back again, and I was like, no, I have to go. They're probably worried about me, and I have to go pick up my daughters. So I went, and that's what I did.
Did any reports in the media when you got back to the car, by the way, did you see it fly away? Could you see it from the car?
No, once I got back to the car, I had to pick up my daughters because they were,
okay. All right.
The dance was over.
Well, listen, Paul, I gotta head towards a break here in about 1 minute. So, anything in the media? Did anybody else see anything?
No, and that was funny because when I got out of the car the first time and I went to the other side of the car because all the cars passing me, they just keep driving by, and I'm looking at the cars going, doesn't anybody see what's going on here? Doesn't anybody see what's over there? I was like the only one. And no, I didn't see anything in the media or anything, and I should have called MUFON, but I don't know why I didn't, but I should have.
And what year was this?
2007.
2007. So it's 11 years ago. What city?
It was in Orange County, Virginia, in Locust Grove, Virginia.
Okay. I would love to hear from anybody that was out there. What month was it?
It was October.
October. Okay, so there you go. I would love to hear from anybody that may have seen anything 11 years ago. Yeah, that's.
You know, I went to stores and stuff near there. I went to people I knew near there, and they didn't see anything.
I know. It's weird how
the
that
next
happens.
day I went.
I know, Paul. I've been through the same thing.
And I think they were wondering, was I crazy? You know?
I know. I've been through the same thing. It doesn't make any sense when it goes down like that, but I totally get it. I went and followed up in the media after a couple of sightings that I've had. Nothing. There's nothing there, and I just thought that that's just impossible. There's,
right?
a million people.
I went on the internet. I was looking for anything like that, and I didn't find anything.
Something's going on,
Nothing
my friend.
local.
Something's going on. And just maybe things are about to bust wide open. And I think that all of us in this community can kind of feel that we're headed in a direction here. And
right. I agree with you.
Something's about to break. It's a very exciting time.
I do agree with you.
Paul, thank you so much for taking the time to call in tonight and sharing that with us.
Thank you for taking my call. I love you guys. I love all y'all.
Right back at you, Paul. Right back at you. And stay safe out there in Virginia.
Okay. I will.
You got it. Man, we've got a hurricane right now, North and South Carolina and Virginia and Hurricane Florence. And that's 2 phone calls tonight, 3 from out there. Okay, I need to take a break right here. So if you are on hold, stay right there. I'll get to everybody right after the break. And again, go over to the GoFundMe that we posted up for Christopher O'Brien and his UFODAP program in the San Luis Valley. This is an automated camera system triangulating stuff up in the sky, automatically recording and finding out exact locations. And the software will also eliminate known aircraft and flights and of course eliminate birds and bugs and stuff like that. This is an exciting scientific project to get this data together. It's our observatory. Fade to Black has already kicked in, and we've got the links right up there on Twitter and over on Facebook, too, as well. Go and do it, and let's make this thing happen because I want to get some Fade to Black stickers up on these cameras. All right? It's Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. More of your phone calls are next. It's Fadernight. Open lines all night long. I'll be right back.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires. This year we've experienced more than our fair share. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. And last month I decided to make sure my family does not have to worry about food should we get caught in a real emergency situation. Introducing Numana, a healthy, storable product that tastes so good that you'll want to eat it every day instead of just during those times of duress. All Numana products have a 25-year shelf life, are MSG and GMO-free, no preservatives, and are made in America. With the Numana pack in your home, you'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you've protected your family. Not only have I tasted and tested, I own it. Now you can too. Just click on the Numana banner on JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code Jimmy when you order. In addition to a discount, we'll send you an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt. Seriously. Go Beckley Teppy. Do you want to be an official Fadernaut? Of course you do. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
If you have hard water, the lime scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate lime scale and other water issues like brown staining and bad odors with HydroCare water products, available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable water systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Are you intrigued by paranormal talk radio? You'll love the new paranormal radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the paranormal radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the paranormal radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Open lines all night long. It is Fadernight. If you're on hold, stay right there. I'll get to you in just a second. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. And if you're just joining the program, I want to let everybody know that our series, The Unexplained, is finally premiering on History Channel. So head over to History Channel with whatever your provider is for television and get that thing DVR'd. 3 one-hour shows tomorrow, Friday, September 14th, and then 3 more next Friday, September 21st. Very cool. Let me know what you think. Let's go back to the phones. Let's see, area code 630. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
What's going on? This is Trevor from Chicago suburbs.
Trevor from the Chicago suburbs. What Chicago suburb, Trevor?
Carroll Stream.
Where?
So near Carroll Stream, so near Schaumburg area.
Oh, Schaumburg. Of course I do, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Yeah.
Did you live out here before? Did you live in Chicago?
I did. I was born at Great Lakes Naval Station in Waukegan. There you go. I lived at Fort Sheridan, and I even did a stint in Mundelein and went to Mundelein High School.
Okay.
You know where Mundelein is, right? You're from Schaumburg.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yep. So there you go. Yeah. Yep.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So last night I wanted to call in and see. I tried looking it up on the internet, and the internet can be a black hole sometimes. And I've had a lot of experiences, but last night I was just going to the grocery store, of all things, And I tried looking it up. I couldn't figure out what it is, so I figured maybe the Fadernauts might be able to fill me in on, what I may have seen. Maybe you know. So I was driving out of my neighborhood, and normally I'm looking up in the sky just because it's a wonder, to look up there and, wonder what's going on. And I saw a star. It looked like Venus, just being as bright as it was. And I realized that's just way too bright. And I've seen iridium flares before, and interestingly, or funnily, if that's even a word, I saw a satellite prior that evening with my girlfriend when we were out walking. So it wasn't that, I know what those look like. This is totally stationary as far as I'm concerned, and it's extremely bright. I'm staring at it. I'm captivated by it. I start looking out the window a little bit more. Maybe 5 seconds passes. It starts getting brighter and brighter, maybe 2-3 times the size and also brightness of what Venus would look like. And then all of a sudden, it's all lasted maybe like 15-20 seconds or so. And after it climaxed to being as bright as it possibly seemed it could get, it eventually just faded to black. No pun intended there.
Right.
But literally just gone. It just disappeared.
Now,
I sat there for
what time was this last night?
So this is at it had to have been, the grocery store closed at 1, and I was racing out of my house to get there. So it had to have been around 12:45 a.m. in the evening or morning, however you want to look at that.
All right.
So,
well, yeah, and hopefully somebody up in that part of, and it doesn't even have to be Chicago. That's anybody that was looking up at the night sky last night in that part of the country at about 12:30 a.m. May have seen something, and maybe we've got some video out there too.
That would be amazing. It was in the northeast sky as far as I'm concerned. So I just find it to be an anomaly. I've seen it once before, something like that happening.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little bit quicker, but some people say it could have been potentially a supernova. I don't know how accurate that could be.
That's possible. Now I think a supernova in the night sky would have been in the news. Astronomers would have reported it if we had any observatories open. Pun intended.
Yeah, that's good. That was good.
But see, here's the thing. This is what you should do. This is what I do. I've got a program called Night Sky. Okay? And it's called Night Sky. And it's a free program. And so get the app on your phone. And whenever you see something like that, just open up Night Sky, and then you can hold it up, and you're going to see exactly what's in the sky at that moment, including satellites. And so you're going to know. You're going to know. And it will also let you know where the ISS is and coming across, which is fun. You'll get an ISS notification for your area, and you'll be able to go right out and see the ISS fly over. Get Night Sky. And it'll confirm or deny if it's Venus or something else, or certainly a satellite too.
That's interesting. I have a question also, if you don't mind me asking.
Sure.
Okay, so it's a different topic, but for the past 18 years or so, I've run into a lot of situations with what I guess some people consider shadow beings, blacker than black in the evening. And I know you had I think you call it your incident with something blinking at you, right?
Yep.
I don't want to probe you too much. I know you like to keep some things to yourself about it, but I've always wondered if you ever saw any facial features. I think you saw its eyes, and you said it was blinking or something along those lines. Was it just black? to you?
No. And you're right. I do want to keep all of it private. And the reason why, but I'll answer your question. Don't worry about that part. But the reason why is I want to hear other people's experiences. If I divulge or if I just throw it all out there, I could potentially, unintentionally, by the way, pollute or change other people's experiences. And I don't want to do that, but it also helps me when I hear somebody share their experience with me, just to let me know that it's not their imagination or they weren't dreaming or anything like that. And I am able to feel confident that I'm talking with somebody that didn't imagine it, So now,
absolutely.
I did not see any specific facial features, nothing that I could describe here. So that,
and it never returned.
No, did not. Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
Seriously,
I didn't enjoy.
That's my problem.
No, I didn't enjoy the experience. I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't fun for me. I am glad that I've had the experience. Look, it's something you kind of got to look at it like this, Trevor. As crazy as this sounds, let's say you're at a bank.
Lay it on me.
And the bank and you're there and the bank gets robbed, and you see guys show up with guns. And you have a heart attack and you're freaking out and then they leave with the money, right? Okay. You don't want to go through that again. It's a crazy experience, but you've got an experience now that not too many other people go through. And it's a life experience that you'll be able to share with people. Yeah, man, I was there, man. The bank got robbed. I watched somebody come in with a gun and at gunpoint and rob the place and split. Well, that's an experience. You don't want to go through that again. You don't. You don't want to go through it again, but you have that experience. And that's kind of the way that I look at what happened to me. I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't cool, but I have that experience. I didn't volunteer for it, and I wouldn't volunteer for it, but I have that experience. And that's the way that I look at it. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't. I did not. I didn't think it was cool. So there you go.
Did that open up? Because that happened when you're quite a bit younger, correct?
It was 1995, 1996. Okay. So I would have been 32 years old. Okay. Somewhere in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that, would you say that in a sense set kind of view onto this path? I know you've been researching it forever, but you have these experiences. Just for myself, having all these experiences, I had them also
right
prior to any of the knowledge that it existed, right? So I was kind of sheltered back when I was a lot younger, growing up in a Christian family and so on and so on. So I didn't know anything other than what that had told me, and back then all I was fed was that it's demonic or it's whatever, and it's like, well, these whatever you want to call them when they show up, it's never hurt me, but it's not pleasurable either. When you wake up at 3-4 in the morning and you have something as tall as the ceiling, blacker than black,
right?
It right in front of you or at the edge of your bed. And people say, have you ever tried talking to it? And it's like, no, because the only thing I'm thinking about is how do I die? How do I run away? Or
Yeah. And I'm with you on that. And I was already pretty deep into conspiracies and UFOs and all of that stuff at that time. But I'll tell you the one thing, and I think I've said this before, but I remember as I ran through the house, turning on all of the lights and going through this panic mode. But I did go back into my bedroom over to the sliding glass doors and checked to make sure that the sliding glass door was closed, which it was. But what I did do is I looked up in the sky. I did. I looked up and I was like, man, how did he get in here? And did it, is there, because I live in Sherman Oaks, there's a lot of people that live here, and it's you can go and look at a map and see what Sherman Oaks is. It's just a suburb of Los Angeles and, a part of the valley. And I just thought, right over Sherman Oaks, was there some type of ship? And I did. I looked up. And so when I got back in bed, I thought about that, not only that night, but many, many, many nights after that, about when you hear somebody talking about, being in a city and having something like this happen, that I was fascinated with that why my building, why this over Sherman Oaks, and so that's it. So Trevor,
go ahead.
When you're talking about a being that big in your room, and you've listened to this program enough to know that I've had a lot of calls and a lot of people that have experienced that. I've had guests on this show that have talked about different experiences like this. I don't know what to make of it. I haven't seen the shadow.
Traumatizing.
I haven't seen it, man. I have not.
Man.
I have not.
It's traumatizing, to put it lightly. Because I've had, the only time I ever had a not in a waking state of mind happening was once I was walking into Target. It was me and all my band. It was around 2009 era. We're walking in Target, and I thought it was nuts. I thought I was just losing my mind. I was glad. It was like you when you had the green chrome ball moment. You had a couple hundred people or whatever with you. I at least had my band, so I had at least 6 of us there, and we're walking along all the checkout center of Target, and it's brightly lit, and we're walking down the end of them, and I don't know, maybe 10 checkout centers ahead of us. I swear I thought I saw a person, like a child, like a young 3-4 foot tall child. The problem was that it was just totally black, and it looked like he ducked it down behind the end of one of the checkout centers. And in your head, you're not thinking, oh, there's a entity or something here. I was thinking, no, there's a weird child, alone, ducking down behind the checkout center. He's probably going to jump out and scare us or something. And so I kept my eyes fixed on the end of the aisle or the checkout center, and we were walking up to it, and we probably got, 3-4 away from it. I'm still waiting for this child to pop out. And all of a sudden, on the end caps, they have all those stupid things that they want you to buy,
DVDs,
headphones or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
exactly. Right. Legos and stuff. And so at that time, they had picture frames, and we all know what a picture frame is. It leans backwards, and you can see it. So it has its own little rest. And on the end of the shelf, there's a little cage, thing that doesn't allow whatever's on that shelf to fall off. And I know it sounds ridiculous, but the picture frame where what I thought child was behind, the picture frame flew off the shelf about 4 or 5 feet away from the end of the checkout center. And I had a few other people see it also. We were all sitting there kind of, in awe together, staring at each other, going, what just happened? And I'm thinking, where's the child? And we walked up to it. There's no child behind there. There's no anything. An older lady who worked for the company comes walking out, yelling at us, saying, now don't go doing that again. And I turned around, because it's like we were like, I don't know what, 4 or something aisles, checkout centers away from it. We didn't touch the picture frame. We didn't even want to touch it. We were all kind of standing around it in a circle. And, it's like that was the only time I've ever had outside of...
Trevor, you needed to save that for our Halloween special next month. What are you doing?
I can call in for that.
Hey, Trevor, be safe out there, man, and thank you.
Man,
thank you for
it.
sharing all of that with us, and go Bears. Go Bears, okay?
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon.
You got it. Thank you so much. And that freaked me out. I mean, were you guys freaking out like I was? That was amazing. All right, let's go to 931 area code. You're up next.
Hi, Jimmy. This is Nathan in Ohio.
Hi, Nathan in Ohio. How are you?
Doing pretty good. I haven't called you in a while. Just thought I'd check in. I really wanted to run something by you about the UFO phenomenon in general. And this is an observation I'm making based on my own experiences.
Okay.
With UFOs and abduction. What I wanted to know is if you think these beings, aliens, whatever you want to think of them as, can control who perceives a UFO or not.
Why not? I mean, I
asked you that because it seems like even tonight you've had a lot of calls where people have seen things and they've checked in on, whether or not other people have seen them. And yeah, they show up on radar, but that's them wanting to. I mean, half the time they put on a show when they are at a crowd.
I know. I've seen it myself. This is, Nathan, I've said this so many times, and I hope that all of us, really start to adopt this type of outlook. And it's a very simple one. Not you, not another experiencer, not a UFO expert, not an abductee, a contactee. It doesn't matter. Nobody knows for sure everything about everything. One ET civilization is not the same as the next sighting or the next contactee. We don't know how many types of civilizations are visiting this planet on any given day. There's so much life out there that we could be visited every single day by a different species, and it could go on for 1,000,000 days in a row. 1,000,000, and it wouldn't be the same one twice. So nobody has all of the answers. So when you say something like that, sure. I mean, nobody knows. I don't know. It's all possible.
Yeah.
It's really true. One day we'll find out, like Sukalo said on the show last year, and I keep quoting him over and over again. ET's going to land. We're going to sit here and talk to him, and we'll find out that we've all been wrong. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it, man. And I'm comfortable with that. And that's my take. We don't have any idea. We don't. We really don't. We have our own personal experiences, right? We have our own little experiences, and they could be 100% in the opposite direction of everybody else's experiences. But that doesn't make everybody else wrong. Or you. That's it. And that's it. That's my take, man. That's my take. I have seen so many things in the sky, Nathan, that and they've all been so different. They've all, I haven't had, Trevor just brought up the green chrome ball story, right? Okay, we've all heard it 1,000,000 times. I haven't seen that repeated. I haven't. And a year later, with everybody out there, at the same spot on the same cliff, and we get the blue, it wasn't green, it was this blue, aquamarine blue glowing thing in the sky that did the backwards Zorro Z zigzag. That was the opposite of the green chrome ball, and I don't know. I can't explain that. So do I think that whatever that craft was with the Zorro Z, could it have been the same ET civilization that was the green chrome ball? What are the odds of that? They probably didn't even know each other. All right. So there you go. All right. So anything else real quick before I head to a break?
Well, all I wanted to say was that I enjoy your show. I listen a lot. I've called you a number of times. It's just been a long time because my son's mother passed away back in March, and I haven't been able to listen to it. My son moved up with me, and it's been a hectic time, but I'm enjoying your shows the last few weeks. Summer's over, and he's in school, so I can stay up later. And
yeah, right on, man. And sorry to hear about your son's mom, but he's living with you. Life is good. It's always a challenge, and just be the best dad that you can be. That's what life is about.
Well, that's what I try.
Thank you so much, Nathan, and be safe and be well out there, my friend.
All right. Thank you, Jimmy.
Yeah, thank you. Tell your son I said yo, okay?
All right.
I'll talk to you. Thank you, Nathan. And great phone call there. I've said it. I've said it over and over again. I'll say it right now. We don't know nothing. We don't know nothing. We don't have a clue, and all we know is that we're being visited, that things are happening, and we can go out into the night sky on any night of the week and see something going on out there, and again, that's exactly why everybody should go and contribute to Christopher O'Brien's project that we've got up here right now, the UFODAP in the San Luis Valley, automated cameras, triangulated system, custom software right there. It's just a $5,000 goal. I want to get this thing hit from all of you Fadernauts because I want to see Fade to Black stickers on these cameras so we can do this to the world. This is our observatory that we're going to be using, and we don't have to depend on the man coming in and shutting our stuff down. I'm going to take a break right here. This is Fade to Black. It's Thursday night, Fader night. If you're on hold, stay right there. Be patient. All right, we got one more segment of the show to go. I'll get to everybody. It's Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I'll be right back. Stay with me.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Halford, the Metal God, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station. Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas.
Poor water quality is a major health issue, and it's only getting worse. Municipalities can't keep up. Standards have dropped, and pollutants are increasing. Where does it all end? It ends by keeping the pollutants outside of your home with HydroCare's advanced systems available at Wave Home Solutions. No less than the best purification materials and processes have been developed by HydroCare to provide you with healthy, clean water for drinking, cooking, and showering. HydroCare far surpasses the competition in removing chlorine, odors, iron, lead, chemicals, limescale, and much more. Don't settle for less when it comes to your water. We'll take care of the toughest water problems for you, whether it's from a city or well source. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, call 888-997-WAVE. That's 888-997-WAVE. Or go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRARadio.com.
Does your basement or crawl space have a damp, musty smell? Well, watch out. That's a sign of too much moisture and not enough ventilation. And that can mean increased mold growth and the buildup of harmful toxins and gases. Don't bother with a dehumidifier. It just circulates the same unhealthy air. Now there's a better way to remove these dangers and odors. It's with the computerized Wave Moisture Control Unit that reduces moisture and expels pollutants.
months.
We replaced our old dehumidifier with the Wave unit, and in only 3 weeks, our basement is dry and the musty smell is gone.
Wave units require no maintenance, no buckets of water or filters, and costs only pennies a day to run. Breathe better, live healthier with an affordable, no-maintenance Wave unit. Call 888-717-WAVE, 888-717-WAVE, or visit dryhealthyhome.com. dryhealthyhome.com.
Ride the wave. Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only drink Fade to Black blend coffee from Rivermoon. Just click on the Rivermoon Coffee banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Promo code F2B Blend.
So are you tired of being tired? Well, then it's time to get the tea. Hey, it's Lisa here to tell you about this all-natural, all-organic tea I've been drinking that has had great results for over 20 years. It's called Life Change Tea, and it's specially formulated to help detoxify and cleanse your kidneys, liver, colon, and blood all at once. The colon is one of the most ignored organs in the human body. The faster that waste is eliminated from the body, the less time that waste sits in our intestines, spreading toxins to our bloodstream. This tea helps cleanse chemicals caused by outside intruders from our entire digestive system. And get this, weight loss can be a side effect. And with continued use of the tea, you can experience clearer, healthier, younger looking skin, increased energy, and a happier outlook on life. So if you're tired of being tired, get the Life Change Tea at getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. And like me, you'll be glad you did.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of Fade to Black by just calling 605-562-4482. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Just call 605-562-4482. You can listen to me, Jimmy Church, on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Go Beckley Tappy.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why Fade to Black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. One segment left, Fadernight, Thursday nights. Open lines all night long. I'm going to get straight back to the phone calls. I know that things have been jammed up. Let's go to area code 505. You're up next on Fade to Black. Welcome.
Hey, Jimmy. This is Jared in Albuquerque.
Hey, Jared in Albuquerque. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. I loved the Monday show. I was the one that originally tipped you off on the Sandia crew, and so it was really lovely to hear from him.
Yeah, it was a fun show, Jared. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, I wanted to call in and tell you about a couple things involving that New Mexico Observatory that I've noticed.
Okay, what have you got?
Okay, so one of the things is somebody was able to grab a screen cap of what was the observatory saw before it got shut down, and it was a very large disk coming in front of the sun, what looks like an eclipse, basically.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Okay, yeah. And then I also saw there was another, the satellite that observes the sun saw that same thing, but then it saw that disk coming again from the second direction.
And?
So it looks like it was the guy that posted the video about that says that it was the moon, and that the moon traversed the sun between the satellite and the sun, the first time, and then the second time that was the moon again, because the satellite's orbit and the way it works around the Earth, it was kind of like when the planets are recessing, when we get the retrogrades and that kind of thing.
Well,
that's why the moon crossed it twice.
Yeah, I saw.
But if that,
I saw the same video. It was posted up. The moon going in front of the sun twice, and I saw it in time lapse. It was pretty interesting to see, but that doesn't look like that other screen capture that you're talking about, and what I saw, and again, I've been looking at so many images, but what I saw was just a small object in front of the sun and another one off to the side of it that indeed looked like it could have been metallic, but it just didn't look right. I don't know how close it was to the sun, or if it was in between the Earth and the sun, or if it was right next to the sun. I don't know about any of that. But the moon passing in front of the sun, that's a totally different thing. I mean, I saw those videos. That was pretty amazing to see the moon pass in front of the sun twice.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And if that happened on the observatory here in New Mexico, that would have caused concern, because they can explain that for the observations with the satellite because of its orbit. But if they saw the same thing on the New Mexico one on ground, there's something there,
Well, and the bigger concern, all of this is fun to think about. But why would you go in and evacuate the observatory and the post office and not tell anybody why you are there? I'm specifically talking about the FBI. So I don't know. I don't know if everything is connected or not. I find it very strange. And the reports of these webcams being taken down, I've gotten a lot of email today of different observatories around the world that have their webcams up, and I've gotten email, and none of those were on the list of shutdown webcams, but other observatories that weren't on this list, that their webcams are offline. So I don't know. I don't know. I can't wait to hear the excuse, but maybe there's something else going on too as well. I have no idea, Jared.
Yeah, there's something there. There's something to it, but there is a little information that we've been able to gather about it with those screen captures and that kind of thing. One of the things someone else pointed out is that there is a lot of mercury in that telescope. So if they had a leak or something, that would have been cause for alarm. But I don't see why they would have the feds come shut everything down over a mercury leak.
No, and then we would have hazmat, and they would definitely be telling the community, and there's not much. I mean, it's a very remote area, but they would let everybody know that there's mercury, being leaked into the system. I would think. Would think that, the local sheriff's department would go, dude, they've got hazmat, they've got control units up there. And we would have heard from the technicians, the people that work there. Look, man, we had a mercury leak. We had some kind of dangerous chemical leak, and it may get into the water table. We're up here. The wildlife, they would just tell us. They'd
want to make that public.
100%. And if they didn't make it public and got caught, now we've got a real problem.
Yeah, definitely. So you can pretty easily rule out the mercury thing. That observation place is a backup for the ones they use on the satellites. Those are the primary ones that they make observations for, and that one in New Mexico is kind of a backup observation area.
Yeah, and I think the same thing with the SOAR setup down in Chile too, as well, which is also a solar observation telescope. Thank you so much for the phone call, Jared.
Hey, no problem, Jimmy. I just wanted to give a shout-out to one of our friends in Spreaker. She's looking at buying one of those night vision goggles and wanted to know which one you recommend.
She needs to call Alec Hoffman. He knows exactly what to do. I mean, I use the Gen 3 Plus, and that's what I use, the Area 51 Gen 3 Plus.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you so much, Jared.
All right, thanks, Jimmy.
Have a great night and a great weekend, too, as well. Now let's go to area code. I think it's 403. You're up next on Fade to Black.
Hello?
Yeah, you're live.
Hey, Jimmy, how's it going?
It's going good. Who's this?
This is Jason from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, or as Reduk was calling me at Soltech, the Viking.
How are you, man? It's good to hear your voice.
I'm good, brother. I'm glad I got through. I've been meaning to phone for the last several Thursdays, but I just kept getting busy. So, first I've been trying all night, but it worked out, so that's awesome.
Yeah, it's good to hear your voice, man. And crazy things going down in our community this week, huh?
Jimmy, I've been making notes all week because I was hoping I'd get through. So first thing, if I could just send a message out to Radar, because I know he's listening to you.
Sure.
I'm going to put this out as an official invite. Radar and all your crew are welcome in my home, in my vehicle, and this Saturday, hopefully going out to do a CE5. So if he can find me, which I'm sure he can, love to have a visit with him. And if he can't, the Sasquatch people know where to find me.
Right on. So you're going to go CE5 up in Calgary?
Yeah, we're going to go, it's about an hour and a half northwest of Calgary, but yeah, and we always have good stuff going on. Not quite as good as ESETI on the mountain, but the stuff overhead is pretty comparable.
Man, I can only imagine an hour and a half outside of Calgary, the night sky there is no light pollution. You're getting into, because you have Calgary, the city, but then once you get outside of Calgary, there's nothing there for hundreds and hundreds of miles in each direction, right?
Well, yeah, there's nothing major, not in that direction. There's little towns in that, but very little light pollution. We're starting to get into the mountains a little bit,
right?
Or at least some hills and stuff. So it's extremely clear, and yeah, we've had some amazing sightings out there.
I can only. And what do you use for night vision?
Well, obviously, I tried a little cheap monocle once, but it wasn't nothing impressive. But I tried some of the glasses that were being passed around at Soltech, and oh my God, that is like high on the agenda to get some of those. I was blown away. I cannot believe what you can see with those things.
I love it when I'm with somebody for the first time that has never looked through night vision goggles like I have, which are the Gen 3 Pluses. Gen 2s are great, Gen 3s are great, but what I have is, it's the very, very best. It's the top of the top. And when you look through those for the first time, because what you're doing, everybody does the same thing. You're looking up and you're looking at the stars, and you know what you can see at that moment. And then you take the night vision and look, and now you're looking at 100 times the amount of stars, and it goes into 3D mode. And they pull the night vision away, right? They look again, and I hear the same thing over and over. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh man! Because
yep.
it's a life-changing thing, man. To go through that. How many people are you going to go CE5 with?
Probably around 5 or so. I'm thinking 5 or 6.
That's great. Are you guys going to stay out all night?
No, I don't think so. I think people are talking like some of the people might shut down around midnight, but I'm going to stay out as late as I can.
Oh, man.
Typically, I find 2 o'clock things start getting really interesting. Like, man, the mountain, like Barry Littleton hit it on the nail on the head the other day when he said that mountain comes alive at like 2 o'clock.
It does.
It was, holy cow, I could not believe it. It was amazing.
It really does.
It's actually, have you heard of the podcast for America?
No, I have not.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they got a pretty good following, but it's in Calgary here, and Graham, the guy that does it, he's actually part of the CE5 group, and we're going with him. So,
right on. Well, let me ask you really quick, Viking. This national. I wish everybody could see a picture of you. I should. I think I've got a selfie or two of the two of us. I can get up real quick so everybody knows who we're talking to. What do you think about this National Solar Observatory getting shut down by the FBI? Do you think this is like the movie Contact?
Oh yeah, it's something big, and you were absolutely. I think it was you earlier, or maybe one of the callers said something about they're going to come up with some story. And yeah, it's going to be a weather balloon that was surrounded in swamp gas and ball lightning or some crap. They're going to try and make up that what it was. But yeah, it's definitely something out there they don't want us to see. And the thing I got about the post office is they shut that down because they're using that as either a headquarters or like a staging area for people that they need but don't want right in the observatory. That's what I think about that. It's a federal building.
Yeah.
It's a federal building.
Yeah.
And they're using it.
That's a great. I didn't even think about that.
Well,
you may be exact. They need an office, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it's actually really funny because I listened to the show with Sue Walker and Reverend Whiteotter. And then I started looking at their website and some of their PDF downloads, and I realized, and it hit me like a ton of bricks, I've had a lot of telepathic communication. And so I've been trusting it, and that's one of the things I got. I was actually listening, I think it was just this morning, I was listening to you on the way to work talking about this, and I just asked, well, why do they have the post office? So that's so strange. And it was like, download. It was like, boom, that's why they're using it as an office. And then... But the other one I wanted to touch on, too, if we could, was 9/11. That was another one this morning I was listening to.
Go ahead.
And this is what I think. And now, I don't know. I've never heard anybody else say this, and maybe somebody has, and I just haven't heard it. But Justin was right at the part and early in your interview where he was talking about the 9 and the 11 and the 10 missing, and it's something occult and something with the numbers, and I was like, well, that didn't completely resonate, and I'm not saying it's wrong, but maybe it's not the entire truth. And again, I just kind of said, well, what is the reason for 9/11? Like, what was the big, what's missing? What's the bigger piece? And what I think is that they did 9/11, and they purposely, with the evidence we see, you kind of have to be willfully blind or like a complete moron, really, to think that the official story is the truth. We all know that. If you take any time to look at it, there's a few things here and there, like, okay, the plane going into the Pentagon, I don't know for sure about that. Like, what you said made sense about no skid marks and everything and how hard it is, but then there was that guy saying, well, I saw a plane flying around. So I don't know what I think, but the official story, it stinks worse than anything in the history of humanity. But I'm thinking, so why would they do that? And why would they be so sloppy? And I think what they did was they purposely put all this evidence out there so that all the, because realistically, as a percentage of the human population, those of us who are awake, those of us who are light workers, starseeds, whatever, all of us, we're a small percentage, and we can see through it all. And to have, when you go on Facebook and you post something about that on your page, and you're going to get more people attacking you and jumping on you, calling you a conspiracy theorist without even looking at the facts. And you're like, but it's right there. Like, it's so plain. It's plain as day. And I think that the cabal, or whatever you want to call it, whoever orchestrated it, basically did that on purpose so that they can prove to us and discourage us and say, we can do whatever we want. You can have all the evidence in the world, and it doesn't matter because nobody is going to listen. Nobody's going to care. There's nothing you can do. And they did it on purpose to try and discourage us and make people just be like, you know what? It's not worth the headache. It's not worth the hassle. We are just going to give up. So I think they're trying to make us give up. And obviously we're not going to.
You are spot on the money. I would say this, probably close to 100%. Like everybody, it doesn't matter if you're outraged about what happened on 9/11, and so how many people bought the story? Probably close to zero. How many people did something about it? Nothing, right? And it 100% just absolutely went, well, you know what? I don't believe it, but I can't do anything about it. You know, and that's just, you know, it's like, you know, it's like when somebody that you know, a friend, a brother, a sister, your mom, your dad, your boss, coworker, whatever, out and out tells you a lie, right? Just lies to your face. You don't do anything about it. You don't. Right. You don't call them on it. You just go, well, okay, we both know that you're lying to me right now, and you know, you're not. It's like the same thing. You know, we're getting fed this. It's a big bowl of crap, right? It's a big steaming bowl of crap, and we know it, right? We know it. Look, I'll give you the best example of all. I'll give you two of them. Colin Powell stands up at the United Nations and shakes that bottle of anthrax around, right? Congress. He goes on a whole publicity media tour about anthrax, right? And we all knew it was BS. Nobody called him on it. Nobody still to this day does. Tony Blair waved that letter around about Iraq wanting to purchase what they call it, yellow cake, whatever from Africa, right? From some kind of whatever it was, and they had and that letter was fake and generated by the CIA. Right? And whether Tony Blair knew it or not, it doesn't matter. We know now today that the letter is fake. Nobody did a thing. Nobody did. I mean, we just know that we were lied to, right? Lied to on a grand scale. Nobody said a thing. Absolutely nothing. All of the WMD and I remember reading a book. This is crazy. It was given to me by a friend named Jeff. And he gives me this book, and it was written by the weapons inspector, whatever that guy's name was, the lead inspector over in Iraq. I can't remember his name. But he wrote this book, and the book was fiction, okay, based on his own experiences. And the opening pages about this truck being pulled away, and it's got a mobile lab in it that's making weapons of mass destruction, and they've got these mobile labs and trucks that are running around. It's the most craziest opening chapter in the world. And you're reading this, and you're going, man, oh, no, right? All of this was fake, fabricated stuff, but nobody did anything about it. Nobody called it, and it's the same thing with 9/11. It's just like we're too concerned with our jobs and living life and paying bills, and we know that we're being lied to, but nobody wants to jump out of the status quo.
Yeah, no, it's frustrating. You know, start thinking of the more I think about it, it's just like I don't know.
Yeah, and now
it's really difficult.
Yep, and here we have this situation going on with inside of our own country, the FBI evacuating and not talking and not, you know, and we're supposed to be, you know, citizens of this country in control of. The FBI works for us, right? We don't work for them; they work for us. What are you doing there? And nobody, the local sheriff said in his press release, well, we're just going to let them do what they're going to do. We're just tired of asking questions. He actually said what you are saying right now. It's just like, you know, he tapped out. The local sheriff tapped out. He tapped out. Literally tapped out. It's unreal, and it's so remote. It's not like you or I or ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN, Fox, MSNBC is going to drive up there with a satellite truck and camp outside of the gates and start pounding on people to try to get questions answered. Can't do it, Right. And so before you know it, this whole thing is going to blow past. It's going to blow past. It's going to be done. And we're going to have to stick with the dogma that is going to be part of the written record, or maybe, hopefully somebody's going to slip up. Somebody's going to do a little whistleblowing. Somebody's going to give us the real information. Something will happen, and then we'll have the two versions of the story, and we're going to have to meet somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, that's probably exactly what's going to happen.
Thank you so much, man. And do me a favor and
Sure.
and let me know what happens with the CE5 and give us a call next Thursday.
Yeah, I will, and I still got to send you some pictures from ESETI too.
What you've got pictures, or you want pictures from me?
No, brother. I got like 8 pictures. I went into that circle and did a meditation, and then asked for confirmation. And I got like eight pictures of UFOs and 2 or 3 videos of UFOs in them. And I've been trying to get. I gotta figure out Photoshop. I want to get them a little clearer, but they're on my iPhone. They're clear as day.
What are you waiting for?
Honestly, waiting for. You mean as far as like going on Photoshop and stuff? Or?
No, sending them to me. What are you waiting for? Oh man! And we're putting we need them for the documentary too.
All right, I'll send them to you tomorrow. But like honestly, I was thinking about that because I figured, you're probably gonna ask me that. And like to be brutally honest, like the pictures are great. The exciting thing for me is the confirmation of what I got, because it was a meditation where I got a whole bunch of messages that really blew my mind. And then I opened my eyes and I was like, "Can you please just confirm everything I just got appear in one picture?" And they appeared in a bunch. So it was the confirmation of the meditation that was exciting for me. I mean, I have absolutely no doubt there are UFOs out there. So, I mean, I like showing people. I'm like, hey, check out what this is. Look what I saw. Or what I got pictures of. And,
Karen just said, Karen just tweeted that you've got a picture of a cigar-shaped UFO, too.
I got 2.
What? And I'm having to hear about it now on Fadernight.
I showed you while we were there.
Oh man, I saw 10,000 pictures.
Your ear was bugging you. So.
Oh man, don't remind me.
I would have cleared it up right then and there.
Man, so many people have asked me that weren't there, right? Just friends. How was ESETI? And I've told everybody I had a great time, but I had this ear thing going on the entire time I was there. And nobody knew. I didn't advertise it or anything. I had a great time, but it was a distraction. It was just such a distraction. Well, I got to get out of here, Viking. I got to roll credits. I'm expecting stuff in my email tomorrow.
All right, you got it.
Have a great night. Enjoy your weekend.
You too. Talk to you next week.
Thank you so much. And wait till you guys see the pictures. You got to see what he looks like. And I'm being serious about that. We had such a great time. And that concludes another Fadernight here on Fade to Black. Incredible calls all night long. Twitter was absolutely amazing. I got to thank everybody. We're going to take the weekend off. Rita and I are going to head down to San Diego for the weekend. So we'll see everybody when we get back. If you've got any information about what's going on out there at the National Solar Observatory, we do want to hear from you. I want to hear from everybody. Email is jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. It's an incredible, incredible story that is just unfolding right now in front of us, right here in the United States. Fade to Black's executive producer is Rita Camarion. Show is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Bob. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vito, and Mark D. Kovar. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network. And syndication is KGRA, The Planet. Thank you to Jon Rappoport and everybody who called and tweeted tonight. This broadcast owned and copyrighted 2018 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Everybody go watch The Unexplained. 3 episodes tomorrow on the History Channel. I'll see everybody on Monday. Until then, be safe. Go back, Lee Tappy.